Doubles and Coffee called me, but in his 5-hour act of desperation, 5 hours to pretend like he's knowledgeable and he's done something, has a plan, and he knows what he's about. In Coleman, but 5-hour diatribe. It reminded me of some of them men who have no skill, no ability, no technical know-how, no sweetness, that just feel to go whole night long, and woman does be strips in studying all the chores they have to do. That is Coleman Bear. That is the Dwayne. Over 5 hours of nothingness. But on top of that, the desperation of the PNM and Coleman, but actually trying to present something that they shut down as an opportunity going forward to people, or to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, as they are wanting and willing and excited to lease or sell the Pnm refinery. So then why you shut it down? Let me break it down to brass tacks. If it's so good, why you shut it down? And that's what we were saying. Don't shut it down. There's no advice to shut it down. $64 million of advice. Lashley, McKinsey, Solomon report said, don't shut it down. They lied and said that it's not profitable, impossible. We don't have enough crude from our local supply. We have to import crude in order to refine, and we're making a loss. So if that was true, and if that is true, how come 10 companies find it profitable to import crude? Because our daily production of oil is lower now than it was in 2018 when you shut down the refinery. Our local domestic production hit the lowest levels in 40 years, went down under 40,000 barrels per day. Under Kamala, it went up to 94,000 barrels per day. So that would mean that anybody who takes over the refinery has to import more crude than before, when Rowley used that as an excuse to shut it down, and Small Pin saying it wasn't profitable. We importing and then we refining and then we're not making profit. Total lies. In the last year of functioning, the Pnm refinery not only provided 1.78 billion US into our economy, it provided revenue and tax take. Out of the 5,364 monthly paid workers and the 6,000 daily paid workers, their tax used to come out first because the state company, the PNM, the government used to get over $540 million in tax one time. No need for BIR, Inland Revenue, TTRA. That money used to come out first like public servants. Public servants, taxes come out first before they get a check. So the government gave up that over $500 million in tax per year. More than the entire take on the property tax. Property tax, if they collect every bit of property tax, could max out at $275 million. The PNM shut down Pnm and just on income tax gave up double the property tax. Make it make sense, calm your dunce Dwayne. Then on top of that, I want to ask the PNM, these 3 companies that have been shortlisted, how come every time some companies or something gets shortlisted, some company have allegations of corruption around it, nepotism and kickback? How come everybody that Rowley want to do business with has a nefarious track record? Answer that now, Coleman Butt, Small Pin, and Rowley. Another question, what about the debt? The debt has not been paid off. The Malcolm Jones debt from the projects that jacked up the wage bill, the debt bill, the interest and debt on principle of the Pnm refinery, from failed projects like World GTL and other projects up to $11.8 billion. You shut down the refinery, you break up Pnm into Guaracara, Paria, and Heritage. But Rowley, you said when you were shutting it down that the debt, you could not, the government refused to guarantee that debt because it would impact the credit ratings, and then the PNM would not be able to borrow. And you know, borrowing, taxing, and thieving is the way of the PNM. Well, Rowley, what happened with that debt? Is that debt being passed on to the bidders, the 3 preferred bidders? Or is that debt left with Heritage for the government alone, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, to guarantee the PNM Malcolm Jones debt? The money that has disappeared, the money that Rowley Smallpen and Faris Al-Rawi took Malcolm Jones out of court when Kamla and Annan Ramlogan had them in court to recoup nearly £100 million of taxpayer money. What about that debt? What about the $850 million bullet payment? What is the refinancing under Heritage? You're talking about 2027, some dragon gas that come in with Maduro, Houthi election, and US elections coming and the world going to war. You holding confidence with that while ConocoPhillips taking any money paid by Trinidad and Tobago for Dragon, them could collect the money paying direct to ConocoPhillips, who is owed by PDVSA under Maduro, 700 million US. What about that debt, Rowley? That can has been kicked down the road. You and him, but 5 hours, you ain't talk about that debt. Who had to pay that debt? Who guaranteeing that Malcolm Jones PNM debt that is on the books of Heritage that has been refinanced up to 2028? When will that come due? How many people have to pay? What's the burden to the citizens? All of these questions, and Rowley, Imbot, and Smallpen not answering. They're dancing around the issues while you have to pay more tax. That your children will have no heritage and stabilization fund. They work out and use out your reserve requirement, your reserve, US reserves, from 12.2 billion down to under 6 billion. That is PNM. So whoever win the refinery, we need the answers. How is that going to benefit? How much is it going to benefit? How come it could benefit? And most importantly, Rowley, why you shut it down? And Trinidad and Tobago lost revenue, tax intake, payments over 6 years. At least 12 billion US lost to this country because of a decision taken by you, Keith Christopher PNM Rowley, talking about people have to pay tax and everybody must pay tax. You kill the tax intake. You shut down the refinery. Why, Rowley, when everybody said don't shut it down? When you are now saying it's so good that 10 companies want the refinery and there's a fight for it. I never see people fight for rotten doubles or stale doubles or rotten chicken. I never see people fight for something that is of no good, no use, that you shut down. Why did you shut it down, Rowley? Does it have anything to do with your friend who told you, if I go down, we all go down, so shut it down? Is that right, Rowley? How much money has been paid out to your friend? 118 million? Have you paid that off already? Or are you owing it just like you owing all sorts of CPEP workers, URP workers, teachers, fire officers, and so on, nurses? Or has your friend received this money? I see he got his new blocks to go and look for more oil, whether real oil or ghost oil. Why did you shut down the refinery, Rowley, Imbot, Smallpen? Tell the people now. And while you're telling me, let me see who win the bid. And let me see if they will have any corruption allegations and kickbacks around the neck. Bless, all you really vote for, I don't know, PNM, all you can't do better than that. All your membership, all you find the lowest excrement, a half-dead Kobo like Rowley to lead all you, and then trust him upon us because you put him in a system of unfair cheating with your PNM EBC and your boundaries designed to put PNM in power. You're paying the country with this albatross around our necks, drowning our children's futures because of Rowley and the PNM stupidity. Ladies and gentlemen, time is now. Enough is enough. Get together. All votes go in one direction. And that direction is Kamla Prasad Visesa and the UNC, with intelligent experts in every sphere to try to help this country climb back up from the slippery slope of failed country status. Bless.